It's been another couple of days of trying to follow MJ's one brain cell as it tries to find logic in her own moves, but there's just not a lot there. It seems as though MJ, after putting Leah on the block as a renom, after using Vito herself to do this, I guess is having regrets and thinks Leah should stay over Angela, wants her original plan of Angela to be the target this week to go through. But let's go by a little bit of a step-by-step process of MJ's week this week, where she nominated Angela and Chemo to get at Angela, which for her game made sense. There's logic behind why she should want out Angela, who she's wanted out since the feeds came on. So that made a lot of sense. However, anytime Leah would talk crap about Chelsea, she would go to Chelsea and tell Chelsea about this. So once MJ won Vito, and Leah's pushing for Chelsea to go up on the block to MJ, which was pretty dumb of Leah. Honestly, if Leah had assessed last week or 2 weeks ago even that MJ was Chelsea's puppet, there was no reason for Leah to be pushing as hard as she was for Chelsea to be the renom this week. But regardless, after Leah did that, MJ went to Chelsea once again to tell her about Leah. So, of course, Chelsea and even Cam were going to push for Leah to be the renom after all of that, when Leah is seeming like the bigger threat than Angela, because that's the information that MJ is relaying to Cam and Chelsea. So MJ agrees to the plan, thinks it's going to be this big move, uses the veto on Chemo, puts up Leah, blindsides her, and then when Leah finally doesn't want to isolate herself after about 12 hours, she's is able to get through to MJ that she was a number for MJ and that MJ should not be the one taking her out. But MJ, of course, came to this conclusion way too late. I can almost follow MJ's one brain cell here, kinda, that she thinks that, hey guys, I listened to you all. I put up Leah as a renom, but I still want Angela out. That's my target. I'm HOH. The problem is her HOH power is over. And she's had some HOH-itis this week, in my opinion. She has thought was big and bad this week, especially going around talking about being a comp beast, which was stupid in the first place. And Chelsea had to tell her to calm that shit down. It's just like too late. You can't put up Leah when the whole house is saying this and expect them to not vote her out. Where MJ really went wrong the other night, the wee hours of the morning coming into Tuesday morning, was putting Leah and Chelsea in a room together with herself in an attempt for Leah to convince Chelsea to keep her this week. MJ really thought that would work for some reason, even though she didn't even tell Chelsea she was going to do this, and that's what the conversation was going to be about. And in that conversation, Leah talked and talked and talked some more, like she always does. And she was caught in a lot of lies by Chelsea, for one. Chelsea was able to pull a bunch of receipts about who told her what about Leah in certain different situations. So I think Leah came across looking bad in that conversation. But MJ also came across looking bad in that conversation because, once again, like I said at the beginning of this video, it was MJ that really kept going to Chelsea, telling all of Leah's information to Chelsea as to why Chelsea wants Leah out ASAP. But in that three-way conversation, MJ, of course, didn't tell this to Leah, and Chelsea clocked that. So that was never going to convince Chelsea to change her mind to keep Leah this week over Angela. So that was just another fumble by MJ. But MJ's trying to be persistent. And I'll give Leah credit. She is campaigning to stay this week over Angela. I think my biggest problem with her campaigning is that When she was first put on the block, she did all of this. Oh, I regret putting up T-Core last week, saying this to Rubina and Chemo. And of course, they don't care because Leah put all three of that trio up last week, so they're not going to feel sorry for Leah this week. In their mind, Leah's kind of getting what she deserves. The same thing is happening to Leah, what she did to T-Core and the trio last week, kind of never really telling T-Core to her face that she was going to be the replacement Nam. But my bigger problem is that after all of that talking to Chemo and Rubina, Leah finds herself apologizing to Chelsea. And now her big campaign is that she will protect Chelsea, Cam, MJ going forward if they keep her over Angela, which maybe she would. I don't see why she would, but I also don't see why Chelsea and Cam would believe that pitch because of all the information that has gotten back to Chelsea, mostly through MJ, but also through Rubina, regarding Leah's targeting of Chelsea. And Chelsea's very good at misting people in this game, as we've discussed over and over. So I have a hard time seeing Leah stay this week. It would just need to be Chelsea and Cam to make a tie. But I guess I'm just wondering why Leah didn't just stay pitching to Rubina and Chemo like she did at the beginning of the week. I guess it's because MJ's one brain cell has affected Leah as well. I mean, I don't think strategically Leah's ever been good in this game either. I've said all along she's one-dimensional. She's been good staying off the block up until now. But now she's on the block and probably going home similar to T-Core. And that lies a lot in the fact that Leah has never been able to maneuver her own game strategically. And I find her doing that again. I think maybe if she could have convinced Rubina and Chemo enough that it was Chelsea, MJ, Cam, and Angela pulling the strings last week, then maybe she could get 2 votes. There'd be a tie, and she can convince MJ to keep her. But instead, she's pitching to Cam and Chelsea because that's what MJ is trying to make her do. I kind of get it through MJ because that's MJ's alliance. But I just don't understand how MJ thinks that now, after MJ put Leah on the block, they're going to vote to keep her just because she's HOH. Yeah. The more I'm going in this video, the more I am getting lost with MJ's one brain cell again. Like, I can follow her up to a point, but the way she kind of tries to go about everything never truly makes sense to me. And that's kind of where I am again. And now she's infected Leah because Leah should be doing these pitches to Chemo and Rubina and not Chelsea and Cam. But she's only doing it because MJ's connected to Chelsea and Cam. But if MJ was really a thinker, then they could get Chemo and Rubina's votes and then MJ could still keep Leah and have her number. But they're not thinking that way. Not that Rubina would necessarily be convinced in that situation. I think Rubina does also want revenge for T-Core. She said that much this week. She wants Leah out because of what transpired last week. Chemo, I think, maybe would be the only one MJ could convince, but also Chemo and Angela have this relationship too. So it could just be another lose-lose situation for Leah. She finds herself in those situations a lot, and it's mostly because it's been her own doing with bad decision-making this season. I did not like how Leah kept whining to Angela about making the wrong decision to get out T-Core last week when it was kind of Angela's fault. Angela was the one pushing for T-Core to go over Chelsea. She thought that T-Core was the bigger threat to get out. Leah listened to Angela. So then Leah this week complaining to Angela didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Where Angela stands, I do think that production wants Angela to win this season. I'm convinced of it at this point. which makes me root against Angela even more because I can never root for anything that Grodner or Meehan want to happen. But it's definitely been a season of Angela getting a lot of screen time. She stopped being entertaining after the first month, but she was good TV a lot this season sometimes. I think her shtick got old weeks and weeks ago, though. But I do think Grodner and Meehan are hoping for an Angela win and will try to get it. For now, though, Chelsea still has a grip on the game. Will C continue to have a grip on Rubina and Chemo? That remains to be seen. Will Angela take a shot at Chelsea? I think she would, if she's the one to stay this week. But also, I think Leah would too, which is why I just don't understand why Leah won't give a stronger pitch to Rubina and Chemo like she's been doing with Cam and Chelsea. But I guess that's MJ's fault. A lot of this week has been MJ's fault. Her one brain cell has not only hurt her game, but obviously hurt Leah's game as well, even though Leah has done a lot of decision making to put herself in this predicament. And one more time for the stans out there of Leah who just go on and on that Leah's a victim. Leah doesn't talk shit. They get mad at Rubina for talking shit about Leah when Leah has talked way more shit about Rubina this season than Rubina has talked about Leah. Leah is a shit talker. Just accept it, Stan. She's not a victim. She talks just as much shit as a lot of these people. Stop it, Stans. Just stop it.